Zombies, Zimzams, Walkers, the living dead. Those guys we love giving the old kiss of death to the most. I had a hankering that only zombies could satisfy. And not just any zombie slaying, a slaying with the side of masochism. So today we ask the question, can you beat Dead Island 2 without weapons? Now the main reason for the masochism here is, well, Dead Island has a lot of weapons. Guns, knives, golf clubs, the list goes on and on and on. You upgrade and customize these weapons based on your playstyle, and the game is kind of built around that fact. So without them, the game's a lot less forgiving. First on the menu for today, List de la Rules. Numero uno, weapons are not allowed past the tutorial. The tutorial has no way to skip 2 parts without weapons. Believe me, I spent some time trying. Number 2, environmental kills are allowed. And finally, number 3, we are playing with the Hard Slayer card equipped. This card basically represents the difficulty settings of the game, and it also takes up a card slot, which, makes it harder for us to build later on. Alright, enough of the intro, let's get to some zombie slaying brass tacks. Our story begins as our heroes attempt to get out of LA, or Hell A as it's now called. Here we select our character. I choose Carla. This tough Latin lady has what it takes to get us through the rougher sections of the game. This is because of her innate skills, which give her a damage boost when she's surrounded, and a buff to toughness and resilience when she's low on health. Plus, her attributes give us a nice balance between survivability and damage. I expected to get pounded on. That phrasing's a little off. I expect to get wailed on given just how many zombies they throw at you. So I'm more worried about survivability than damage anyways. We wake up post-crash with a nice steel beam planted right in our old kidney. Luckily, the health kits around here come with an extra one we can just slap in there. I make my way out of the wreckage, breaking the one box I must break with a weapon. This is one of 2 reasons I put that tutorial rule in place. You'll see the other one shortly. We break outside to meet Emma and Michael, world-class actress and her assistant. They basically leave us to protect some survivors, but not without Emma giving us her address. I beat back the zombie scum with old righty and lefty, before throwing a weapon at the old plane tire. Alright, that's it. Run starts here, no more weapons. I go back to check on the survivors, but, well, shockingly, they're zombies now, and they want to chow down on my arm bone. With zombie coursing through our veins, we stumble our way towards Emma's house to get some help. Waking up not zombified, we find ourselves near Emma's house, and we make our way through the neighborhood over to her place. Showing them that we were bit, they send us to secure the property. We knock back the zombies with our newly learned dropkick and are rewarded with the ability to equip the hard card and the other skill cards. So given how combat has gone so far, counterattacks are really going to be the GOAT here. So we equip the card that restores a lot more health when you successfully counter. We rejoin Michael and Emma, but not before being interrupted by the big man himself, Sam B. Can I do the line? Can I do the line?
Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa, who do you voodoo, bitch?
Oh, you just played the clip. I see. Well, Sam is here to swoop in for his ex, Emma, and save her. He's immune, we're immune, everyone's immune. Actually, no, wait, just us two. Sorry, Emma and Michael. Anyway, rumor on the street is that there might be someone at the Halpern Hotel looking for immune people to help create a cure. Before we leave, they give me what's called a curveball in this game, a rechargeable throwable. This one just distracts zombies, so it's not a weapon, perfectly within the rules. We head on over, saving a nice gentleman along the way, and almost getting bodied in his living room. Dying in this game isn't normally a huge deal, you just respawn nearby. However, for story sections you respawn at checkpoints and usually have to do the sections all over again. Finding our way into the hotel lobby, we realize that the ballroom is locked and some crazy lady over the radio is yelling about her men getting the old kablam to the man in the sky. We make our way to find her, trying not to fall into a pool of acid. No, not a puddle, an actual pool. We find the next curveball, the chemical grenade, which puts up fires and stuns zombies. Also non-lethal, so perfectly within the rules. We find our radio head, and well, she is kind of just a head now. She must have been taken out by some kind of big bad, but we get her keys and we head to the ballroom because that ain't our problem. Inside, we make contact with the CDC Dr. Reed. over the radios, only to be interrupted by Bridezilla. Guess it is our problem, huh? Well, here comes a long fight. Given that special zombies can't be countered and we don't really do a lot of damage, that's kind of why this fight took an extra long time. After saying our piece to this wedding, we head back to Emma's to give her the good news about the good doctor. That's a lot of goods. A lot of goods. I probably could have said bads. He says over the radio that he wants us in Santa Monica, which is on the other side of the city. But before we do, Michael goes AWOL, and it's our job to find him. We follow his trail over to Monarch Studios, where we fight our way through underpaid crew members, and we find Michael in Emma's trailer. He's being stalked by Pukey McPugerton, and it's up to us to stop this acidic menace. With our acid reflux under control, we learned that Michael was getting medical supplies, and definitely not Emma's trophy, definitely not. Also, no way that he's bitten, So we leave him and head back to Emma's house. However, on the way back, we get a call from Sam about getting some guns. Oh boy, can't wait to use those. We break into a big game hunter's house, where she proceeds to kick our ass. She's turned into a special infected called a screamer. She screams periodically, which knocks you back and buffs other zombies. With her and her horde dealt with, it's time to get that gun. Alright, yes, here we go. And it's gone. In its place, a horde meant to be beaten by guns. Yep. With our acrobatic moves, we beat them back and head back to Emma's. And in a shocking twist, Michael was bitten. And we have to put him down because he tries to bite Emma. She gets all pissed and kicks us out, so we have to make our way to the sewer to slog our way to Santa Monica. Crawling our way through the muck, we encounter the next big special infected, the Burster. Think a creeper from Minecraft, but made of flesh. A sewer dweller named Patton saves us and shows us the way to Santa Monica through the sewers. He's been living down here since the Gulf War, so I don't stay long since the smell's pretty bad. Leaving him to his agoraphobic devices, we head deeper into the sewer. We fight our way through a few hordes, using doors to funnel them. But this is the point where the run changes. Some weird lady and her cronies knocked me off a catwalk and into what we call big mode. Basically, you become a super zombie and do increased damage and regenerate health on each hit. We're going to be using this as a key component to our build going forward. Once we finish going zombie mode, it's out of the sewers and onto the beach. Here we help a local restaurant secure their building and learn about how much grip strength a crusher zombie has. One of the survivors wants us to deal with his fellow bodybuilders who have turned, before he can help us get to Santa Monica. We track down one that Patton had beheaded, and the other who has the hots for us. This is where the chemical grenade does some work, as it puts out fires. This allows us to deal with the Crusher and his fiery minions with at least one eyebrow still attached. Reporting back the deaths of the said strongmen, they let us know that we need to travel through the military base nearby to get to Santa Monica. I head down to the old trenches and speed my way past the competition and onto the gauntlet. At this point, we've unlocked the alternate way to fill the big mode meter. The more hits I do, the faster it charges. But if I stop hitting, the bar starts to deplete unless it's already full. This works amazingly well with the build. And as you will see, I do a lot of hits, so it charges really fast. I also learned to emulate the Crusher's ground pound, which is pretty nice. Alright, back to the gauntlet. The local military has told me that this is the final way to get to Santa Monica. We must battle our way down a set of corridors, which is crawling with zombies. Time to see Big Mode do work. Well, that was pretty fun. I guess now time to go see Dr. Reed. I find him holed up in the Sterling Hotel with his daughter and some other survivors. He tells us that we need to prove that we are immune by using the equipment stored at the Santa Monica Pier. There we can extract our blood and retrieve the analysis tool to analyze the sample. We take the sewer once more to the pier and fight our way into the CDC base. There we power on the blood sampler and grab ourselves a sample of us. But without the analyzer laptop, Reed can't do anything. And last he knew it was at the end of the pier. Of course it is. Who stores equipment together? time for us to go on some rides and, well, hopefully no clowns show off. Alright, so at the end of the pier, we fight our next zombie type, the Butcher. Except this one's a clown. This guy's a bit trickier because he can heal by eating bodies. Man, do I hate clowns. Well, at least this one's out of the way. We try to escape the collapsing pier, but get dropped into the ocean. Luckily, the laptop and us wash ashore. We return with our prize to Reed, who we find meeting with the mysterious woman from earlier. She's as cryptic as always, but leaves without much of a fuss. She's also not wearing shoes. Pretty gross, especially in zombie apocalypse. While Reed is analyzing the samples, he wants us to go find his daughter, who has mysteriously vanished. Also, everybody knows she went to go get coffee, so she didn't mysteriously vanish. He's just not very observant. Also, I've beaten the game twice, so, woo, mysterious puzzles, and oh, I found her out of nowhere, whoa! She says she'll tell us who that mysterious lady is in exchange for helping figure out what her dad is up to. Turns out the creepy lady is some billionaire who is like a cross between Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and I guess Steve Jobs, because she has like an Apple company. We break into her servers and find out that Dr. Reed has found other immune people, but he's been experimenting on them. We find the location of his lab where it all went down. And well, you know how evil experiments go. The super zombies, of course. After that rough fight, Tisha finds us, almost fully turned, and takes us out. Oh, and in case I didn't mention it, her name's Tisha. Yeah, I think I haven't mentioned it yet. Whoops. Coming back from the dead with help from Miss Jobs, she tells us we're some kind of special human-zombie hybrid. And dying, it has finalized the transformation. They call us Newman. I see what you did there. Very original. This unlocks the last part of the skill cards and allows us to get an extra boost to big mode energy generation. She tells us to catch up with Dr. Reed before he escapes with Tisha and our blood sample. We jet back to the Sterling, only to see them escaping by helicopter. The survivors are pissed inside the hotel, but we explain that Reed fucked us too. Jimmy was able to find out where they were going. Well, before he starts shooting the laptop we need. Not the smartest move, bud. Also, you're probably deaf now. They are off to some lab on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, we know there is a helicopter available there, so we grab Emma and Sam and get some help from our old pilot, Patton. Patton is a huge fan of Emma, so we are hoping we can use that to get him over his fears. We meet up at his sewer pad. Sam seems to have gotten the flu, but can still fight. Emma works her magic on Patton, and he says he'll take us there via the metro.
We are going to die in a fireball.
The metro section is pretty straightforward. The only hiccup is the new butcher type, the vicious butcher. These ones can cause damage and build up of the bleed status effect when you punch them. Plus they can heal by eating themselves, which means almost immediately. So I saw that war of attrition and I said, fuck that, and ran right past it. At the end of the metro, you get one of those gotta hold off the enemies until things power up sections. Luckily, Big Mo just decimates the zombies. We board the train and get ready to walk the red carpet. On the train platform, we find a door that's blocked by boxes on the other side of it. At this point, I was like, oh, fuck, how are we gonna open this fucking door? Oh god, let me just try ground pounding it. Oh, fuck, threw my grenade by accident. Oh, I could have also just done that by throwing it on the other side, but I'm just a really big dum-dum. Meet up with the team and head on to the red carpet. We find the helo, but before we leave, we need to find Tisha. Sam isn't doing so hot either. Turns out he's not as immune as we thought. Surviving 2 other dead islands will do that to you. We leave Emma in charge of taking him out if he turns, and head out to Reed's lab. We find it hidden in a de-aging clinic. A classic button under the desk hiding a secret door, huh? You know, I feel like if you have a secret lab right off of the main Hollywood Boulevard, it would be hard to hide. Like hundreds of scientists going to work each day to the same de-aging clinic, but only 1 or 2 employees inside would be pretty sus. Tangent aside, we confront Reed and Tisha, and it turns out he infected the city to create a Newman capable of extorting for part of the cure. Much like Walking Dead, everyone is infected, but there is a countdown in the DNA before we all turn. He also reveals that Tisha's blood plus mine creates the cure, giving us 1 sample before transforming into the Rubinator. Alright, final boss time. And while he is a buffed version of what we fought before, the arena is full of many zombie variants that make taking him out tricky. I have to mix up the build a bit because I need to focus on recovering health, as health packs are rare here.
I'm not giving up.
After a few attempts, the Rubinator goes down, and we make a mad dash back to the helicopter. There we give Sam the cure, so he and Emma can escape the city together. We stay behind to look for Tisha, but not before Sam gives us his hammer. Wait, Carla, what are you doing? You can't use that hammer. That'll invalidate the run. No. New rule. Cutscenes don't count. Well, that's all, folks. Dead Island 2 beaten without weapons. This was such a fun challenge. It really changed combat for me, made it much more technical, which I really like. Let me know if you want to see more Dead Island content again, or comment below other zombie games you'd like to see me do challenge runs of. Just not the original Dead Island. I really don't like that game. That might be a hot take, but not for me. Anyways, remember, if a man looking like a zombie asks for a snack, always have some human in your back pocket.
Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa, who do you voodoo, bitch? Hide your kids, grab your wife, better get out of sight. Who do